right, good morning, everyone. Bros, we are back with another edition.
Fellow bros.
There's a rap in there somewhere. I just forgot the words. Um,
Yeah.
so this week we've been kind of slow. So instead of trying to go through like some of the news stories, we thought we'd take a look at some of the ongoings with the current labor disputes across the country because there seems to be a lot of them. And we can get started with, I think, a very interesting story you'd sent me last night. The Fox Valley healthcare workers. I
Bro.
read the wrong thing.
No, that's
So,
it. That's the right thing.
no, I moved the screen.
Oh, okay.
It's fine. So why don't you break it down? Because you sent this to me. You may have been following it more than I had. What's going on here?
I hadn't really. I just kind of read this article here, and I of course was appalled. So here's what seems to be happening. So these employees got an offer from a new hospital. So they're living in Wisconsin, like in Appleton, Wisconsin. Anyway, they got a job offer at another location, another hospital, different healthcare system. And it's like a team. It's like a team of radiologists and cardiologists and whatever that do heart surgeries. And they went themselves and got another offer from a competing hospital. Competing hospital um, gave them more money, obviously. And one of the members of the team said, "Hey, can you match it?" So that's how the
Well, they said, "Hey, can you match it to their current employers?" Right. So they may
right
not
to
have
the current
necessarily
employer.
wanted to leave, but they got a better offer, better package, and they said, "Hey,
Right.
look, I'm going to give you the opportunity to match this, or I need to do what's good for me."
Or
Right.
or we're gonna go.
Yeah.
And so their current hospital, the current employer said, "No, we can't match that," and then went and filed suit with some court to stop the new hospital from being able to hire them. And the judge agreed.
ThedaCare requested Thursday that an Utagami, whatever, y'all have some weird names up in the Wisconsin area, judge temporarily blocked 7 of its employees who had applied for and accepted jobs at Ascension from beginning work there on Monday until health system could find replacements for them.
Wisconsin is a at will employment state,
Just like Texas is, yep.
just like Texas. What in the anti free market is going on here? Like, I don't understand. Somebody explain it to me.
So, the article
Explain
goes
to me
on to
how this is
say,
constitutional or
so
like
it
how
may,
this
it
is right.
may, the reasoning may be embedded here a little later on. I don't know. I read this part and I was kind of confused. I didn't. But okay, so it basically says that the ThedaCare is a level 2 trauma center, which means they have specialists like interventional radiologists, yada yada yada, and Ascension is a level 3 trauma center. So, I, from reading through this, it sounds like the ThedaCare is the place that Ascension sends people to if they can't handle whatever's going on, right? And so it'd be like, you're in a hospital somewhere in Dallas and they can't do the procedures that they need, so they send you to the next one, right? So it's supposed to be like the next level care, if I'm reading this correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And they also, according to this, provide 24-hour emergency services, while Ascension
Okay.
does not. And on a again, like I told you last night, like from a business perspective or a hospital perspective, company perspective, whatever entity, like yes, it makes sense that they have to, in order to maintain that level of trauma care for the surrounding area, they have to maintain a certain level of minimum staffing, right?
Okay.
Now, do I think that the individuals, these 7 individuals, have grounds to sue the bejesus out of ThedaCare? Absolutely, right? Because, like, at a personal level, what you've done basically is taken away my right to choose where to work. You've taken away my at-will employment.
Right.
And in the state of Wisconsin and in the state of Texas, that's illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, again, like I said, this is company suing company. They are not targeting the individuals at all, and I think that's because they know they would lose. But can they be sued for lost wages based on the differences between the packages between the 2 different companies? And I think the answer is absolutely yes. And not only that, but like in their suit, ThedaCare should have to basically pay for all their lawyers.
I just don't understand why, if it was a big deal, right? You didn't want to lose them. You didn't want to lose them so much that you had to go and sue the other company to stop the poaching. Why didn't you just pay them?
Because lawyers in that case
why
would be cheaper.
wouldn't you just give them the money?
And I think the answer is lawyers in that case would be cheaper. A lot of these companies have these
But
guys
it
on
won't be
retainer.
because now those people are going to sue because there'll be the class action lawsuit of the century, and you're going to pay me millions. Like, at the end of the day, there's no way that you're getting away with this. Like you know what I mean? Like, there's no way this doesn't end badly for ThedaCare. Because if I'm the ACLU, holy shit, I'm finna get them all the money. Like, I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm a lawyer, I'm like, let's go.
Let's chomping at the bit. Get them. You know, and I think that's the craziest thing. Is like, how did the judge? Like, I haven't been able to find the actual court decision and actually the opinion of the judge and how he wrote it out. You know, maybe I can run a quick search and see if I can pull something up on that. But holy cow.
So I went and looked, and apparently this poaching stuff is a big deal in the medical industry. There's a lawsuit going on in Connecticut and in Pennsylvania, where basically there's another class action lawsuit between it says physicians, nurses, psychologists, therapists, and other healthcare professionals are suing Geisinger and Evangelical. Those are 2 different hospitals, competing hospitals, because they have no poach agreements between the 2 of them. So that when they try and go and get a better offer, if they work at one of these other hospitals, they won't hire them. And then they proved it with some leaked emails.
They proved that the agreement exists.
Yeah, so It says, according to their lawsuit, Geisinger and Evangelical entered these unlawful agreements at the highest levels of their organization through secretive verbal exchanges that were later confirmed by email. And they say, but for the DOJ's investigation of a proposed acquisition between defendants and resulting publication of the DOJ complaint exposing the no-poach agreement, the existence of the anti-competitive no-poach agreement would have never come to light. That's crazy. This is the conspiracy that I'm talking about all the time, Bob. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, this is where you're like, are you saying that these 2 companies get together and they say, well, we're going to do this and make sure that we pay this? And yes, that's what the fuck I'm saying. We can all make money if we do it this way.
And it definitely appears to be the case, at least in this industry. The only time I've ever experienced it, so like, there are in the engineering world, again, this is not healthcare, but like in the manufacturing and engineering, you know, a lot of the technology that we have is considered proprietary, right? So like, I could be personally sued by my company if I mishandle it, like even if I just like don't take care of it, right? Like that's their bread and butter. If I leave it out on a server somewhere, I download it and put it out somewhere where anybody could look at it, I could be held personally liable, right? That also comes into play when you talk about non-compete clauses. Now, they don't write them out indefinitely, and a lot of times they're due to like contractual purchases. So like I've got a sector of my business that I'm selling to another company, and this is actually what happened with my old facility, if you recall. Like, right, so we had a technology, and we owned it, we developed it over the course of like 40-50 years, and then they had to sell it, right? And so they took all that technology and they packaged it up and they sold it to this other company. And there was an agreement that was put in place that we could go to work for this other company, but if we did that, we couldn't come back for like, I don't know, 6 months, a year maybe. It was something like, I think it was 6 months.
But that's a non-compete. That's different.
That's different,
you,
right?
You are aware of that.
That's the only time
like
I've ever been, like, I guess, around this kind of thing, like, and had it like affect me personally, where I like looked at it and was like, well, I don't want to go do this because then I'm stuck there for X amount of years, and I have to leave both companies entirely to go do something else, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's the similarity I draw from my own experience. And what you're saying is like, it would be more akin to like all the manufacturing plants in the area basically decided like, all right, we can't steal each other's employees. We can't poach each other's employees no matter what. Right? Yeah, that's shady as hell.
That's what I'm saying. But what I don't understand is the judge backing that up. Like, right. I don't know how legally a judge would say or rule that that's okay. We're not, they can't hire him. Like, this is America.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, how many times have you heard somebody say, well, if you don't like working there, go somewhere else?
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's like the calling card of the capitalist, you know, conservative Republicans and whatever, right? Like, yeah. So like, who is this guy? So,
sorry, I keep moving my camera.
I found his court thing, but I can't find. Like, I found their website on their circuit courts, but what I don't see is like decisions, like, you know, opinions and decisions and any kind of write-up. Like, I can't click on this. There's only emergency court notice stuff.
It's not like what
court decisions are public, regardless of how small the case is. So it's more a matter of finding it than it is of like, does it exist or not.
What's the guy's name?
I don't know who you're talking about.
The judge.
Mark McGinnis. And is county circuit.
I wonder if it's like a small town judge where he's like, well, let's all come to an agreement.
But, probably.
You know? Like,
I mean,
let's all just settle down.
Why can't we all just get along? Let's see here. Ballotpedia. Blah 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 blah.
But he's a circuit court judge. Like, that's not bullshit.
No, it's not. It's Outagamie County Court decisions. Like, I really want to read what this guy wrote for his case and the reasoning behind it, because, like you said, it doesn't make any sense. It seems like it goes counter to the law that exists on the books of Wisconsin, counter to common sense, right? And any type of like free market enterprise. User information, court information.
From home.
So I don't know. Seems weird. Case search. I can do a case search. Let's see here. Oh, this is the and circuit courts. Circuit courts. Yeah, whatever. All right. Party name. Business name. ThedaCare. ThedaCare versus Ascension, Wisconsin. All right, here we go. Here's the case number. Mark McGinnis. Court activities, hearing, joint publication of the federal. I think these are all just the submissions from the lawyers and crap. So, let's see. Court record. Class code description is under prohibited business activity.
What now?
The class code and the filing type is a civil case under prohibited business activity from ThedaCare to Ascension. So again, it's a business suing a business, and that's where I think the difference in outcomes, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, if you are the individual, if you are one of these 7 individuals, I'd be doing everything to get free lawyers and essentially sue the bejesus out of these people, because this isn't right. And regardless of whether or not the fact that the judge is trying to look out for the companies or just say, hey, everybody get along, like, it doesn't matter, right? Like, I'm an employee here.
Right.
You're stopping me from getting more money and more package and better benefits and a better deal for my family, and we're going to fight. Like, that's it. And like, this is ridiculous.
The thing is like, on one hand, where I hate the whole system in the first place, like the whole healthcare system, and like just the money making aspect of it in the first place, like I hate that. But then you add on this on top of, because at the end of the day, nurses, doctors, etc., they're all just employees of these hospitals, right? They're just workers like you and me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and so I'm on their side. They're the labor. Like, I those are the people that I advocate for.
Do you remember me using this? And this is what sickens me, right? Because I have used this very argument against you, mind you, back when we did our Medicare for All show, that should that happen, then instances like this will occur, right? And I didn't say like they'd stop you from going from one hospital to the other, but I would say like they would force your employment, right? And that's essentially what's happening here. It's like they're being forced to work for a specific company because of the need, or whatever, what you want to designate it as. But they've taken away the workers' right to do what they want. And so in a sense, like, what's going to happen?
Which is the thing that you advocate against. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and like, this is what's happening under the current system. So obviously, like I said, it was broken then. I said the way that you wanted to fix it, I didn't agree with. But obviously, it's still broken, right? And like, what that story you sent me, it basically says is like, in right now, nobody wins, because ThedaCare loses their employees. The employees are just going to quit. They're not going to come to work, right? They can't go work for Ascension. So now you've just got 7 people that are out of work
in the middle of a healthcare worker crisis.
Right. Like, what lunacy is
can't
this?
force them to go work. You can't make them. Because you're right. Why would they go? Why would they go to ThedaCare after this?
Yeah. You're like, oh, like, so really all you did was just hurt people. That's all you did.
Yeah.
Your justification for this, like, non-poach policy or whatever else, all you did was hurt people.
Yeah. And, the thing is, I guess it was a better deal for those employees to go somewhere else, right? And so, that's what you're against, right? Is like you don't want somebody to be forced into staying somewhere or being that location. But I don't think that would change because you're not talking about an NHS when you're talking about Medicare for all. The NHS, the National Healthcare System, is where the government runs everything.
Right, and I'm not trying to get into
Medicare
that argument again. I'm just saying.
But because you brought it up and you're wrong, I'm going to correct the situation here. All Medicare for all is a public way to pay the hospitals, right? Just like anything else that's publicly funded to private entities. So hospitals would still be a private entity, just publicly funded.
Right.
So
like I said,
that's the difference. It's not a national healthcare system that the hospitals and everything is run by the government.
I'm gonna let you own that point. I just
wanted to clarify.
I'm gonna let it go.
Huh?
I said I'm not gonna respond to that. I'm gonna let it go. So I did not want to start that up again. All right, because we have beaten that horse to death. All right, so
I would never finish beating that horse until we fucking have.
I understand. And the thing is, it's like I am 100% behind. Let me hear this point from me, right? I am 100% behind eliminating for-profit hospitals.
Ooh.
All right? I still don't think the government should be involved. But I'm 100% behind eliminating for-profit hospitals. I'm good with that.
But you'd have to become a 503c, which the government would have to get involved in that.
All I want is every hospital to be as good as St. Jude's. Right? Like,
or Scottish Rite.
Scottish Rite. Those, I mean,
their place is amazing.
That's where I'm at. So St. Jude's is down here in Galveston.
I wish I could go to something like that. Say that again.
I said St. Jude's is the #1 burn clinic in Galveston and in the world, right? Like, and they're down here in Galveston, and why can't they all be awesome? Anyway, cost-cutting measures, right? So these people got screwed. They need to sue the pants off of ThedaCare. I don't know what's going to happen with this, man. This is pretty new. I think that this happened the 21st. Today is the 23rd as we're recording this. So obviously the courts are on a weekend break. There's nothing really happening right this second. All this stuff came out Friday. Be interesting to see. We'll be keeping our eye on that. What do you guys think? Tell us in the comments. Let me know what kind of horseshit this is.
Horseshit.
Thank you for watching this episode of BroPartisan Hacks with Reese and Rob. We really, really appreciate you watching, tuning in. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to us. We're putting out content as often as we can. Share it with your friends. Get it out there. Get our names out there. Also, hit that bell, tap that bell right there so that you can get updated when we put out a new video. Rob and I are trying to pump these videos out as often as we can. However, we both have day jobs, we have families, so our schedules have to line up so that we can make a new video. Speaking of our day jobs, our opinions and views expressed are our own and in no way represent those of our respective employers. Thank you. Thanks again for watching.